So I have a really, really good video for you guys. A really good video, okay? And if you do like it, just make sure to like and sub. If you don't, please give me your criticism, okay? I just started out as a YouTuber. I would love your criticism. Just it could be as hard criticism as possible. It does not matter to me. Just give me whatever criticism you have, okay? So today I'm going to be talking about desync, why it exists, why it's in Halo, how it can be fixed in some ways, and how it's caused. Okay, so that those are the main things that I'm gonna talk about. All right. So the first thing, right? Recently, a developer did a presentation on GDC Vault, which is like a developer conference thing. Basically, this is the video, right? So if you want to check it out, I'll post a link in the description. But but basically, the gist of it is it talks about the engine and its issues and why desync exists. So the thing is, right, there's two types of desync, okay? There's ping desync, which is caused by latency, your ping, and then there's engine side desync, okay? There are two different types of desync. Okay, so the desync that you see, for example, when you get shot around corners, that is caused by latency. That is not engine side desync, okay? So I just need to be very clear with you guys. The second type of desync is engine desync. Okay? Engine desync is what would cause things like no regs. So if you shoot a rocket, it doesn't register. If you shoot someone if you shoot someone at all and it doesn't register at all, that's engine side desync. And that is caused by the real simulation and the fake simulation not lining up. So I'm going to explain to you exactly what that is, right? The real simulation is basically what your console or your PC thinks the game is doing, right? So the reason that that's important is because this is what is actually happening. Okay, the fake simulation is what you see as a user happening on your screen. Okay, now what happens on the fake simulation has absolutely no bearing on what happens in the real simulation. But what's very important is that the real simulation and the fake simulation have to happen at almost exactly the same time so that you're seeing what's actually happening at the same time that the console is. I hope you understand what I mean by that, right? And the reason that these aren't lining up in Infinite is because of something called lockstep determinism, as described by this guy. I believe he's a developer. But this is correct. So I've spoken to other developers as well. And and the reason that actually, so I'm sorry. So I take that back. Lockstep determinism is actually what it's called when you have like a perfectly identical real and fake simulation. This is not what Halo has. Halo has a type of determinism, right? Which is determinism is all determinism is how synced up your fake simulation is with your real simulation. Okay. Halo intentionally makes the fake simulation and the real simulation slightly different. For certain issues, there's certain issues that happen with it in RTS games. So basically, every FPS game, they'll have this type of determinism where it's slightly different between the fake and real simulation. But how they correct for that is the server side sends information to the fake simulation on your Xbox so that it syncs up properly, right? Now, this doesn't work properly sometimes, and that's why you get things like no regs. Okay? So that's why it's very important for them to fix determinism, which they've said they are doing. Okay, so it's important to note that they have said they are fixing this. So all hope is not lost, right? And also another thing, when the determinism doesn't act properly, so in this case we're not talking about lockstep determinism. We're talking about the FPS determinism, which is the one that's intentionally not synced together. When the server side doesn't send the information properly, you get something called rubber banding. I'm sure everyone's experienced this. It's just when you go back and forth and like, the game isn't registering what is happening properly. That's what happens when the server doesn't send the correct information, okay? That's caused by error. So this is very okay, so the actual I bet you're wondering what exactly is causing the determinism to be off. As far as I'm aware, this is completely unknown. Besides to the developers, right? This would be most likely just basic coding problems. Not basic coding problems, but like coding problems in the engine. This is a very common thing. If you ever played Destiny, the same thing happens in Destiny. Okay, maybe not to the extent it does in Halo, but it does happen in Destiny as well. Um, a lot of people. I'm also going to be talking about performance a little bit. So one of the reasons that the performance is a little bit is worse on PC than it is on Xbox is because Xbox is specifically being prioritized in terms of the optimization, right? So this engine uses something called job scheduling. Okay, so there's job scheduling and there's simultaneous multi-threading. Simultaneous multi-threading, imagine it like this, right? Imagine that you have 3 cashiers, right? That's multi-threading. Multi-threading is when you have 3 cashiers, 3 lines of people, and then they're getting the job done quicker, right? What job scheduling is basically if you have one cashier, except everybody in line knows exactly what they're gonna order, right? So that's what job scheduling it is. They're all of their jobs. Basically, in this case, it would be what their orders are. They scheduled it, so they all know what they want. So it's very orderly, and it happens very fast. Now, the reason they did this for this game is because the Xbox One cannot actually support simultaneous multi-threading. That is why they used this type of threading, right? Or this type of optimization. Okay, so that's very important. Now, would multi-threading give a significant performance boost? It's hard to say. It definitely would give a performance boost. That's not the main issue, though. The main issue with PC is just it's very difficult to optimize it properly because of just because of how they made the engine, because they had to convert it from the Blam engine, right, which was the old Halo 5 engine, to the new engine, right, which is Slipspace, right? And they talk about this in the GDC talk, but basically in the GDC talk, I'll summarize it. They talk about how they didn't have enough time to actually fix this. This is the primary reason why there's a very large lack of content in Halo Infinite right now. It's because they weren't done fixing the engine, right? So it's not completely done yet. Now, I do want to say a couple of things, okay? I would be very hopeful about this game because things are gonna, in my opinion, things are gonna go up from here, and I'll tell you why. Right, this engine, and this is the third thing that I'm gonna talk about related to this topic. Okay, this engine is completely proprietary, and basically what that means is that 343 they own it completely. It's not like Unreal Engine where you can license it. It's not like that at all. Okay, it's completely owned by them. They don't license it to anyone. Okay, so that's the reason why it's very hard for developers to learn how to do it, because a lot of developers, they know how to use Unreal Engine because, it's open to everyone, anyone can license it, right? So that's why a lot of developers know how to use Unreal Engine. They don't know how to use Slipspace. So Slipspace is completely new. It's very advanced. A lot of people have been saying it's not advanced or something. It's completely untrue, okay? This is probably the best engine they could have used for this game. And the reason why that is just because it's easier to implement things like split screen, and just flat out it would have ran significantly better than Unreal 4, and Unreal 5 wouldn't even run on Xbox One. I would greatly doubt it. So that's the reason why they're using this engine. So if you had any doubts why they're using this engine, that'll clear it up. And if you're a game developer and you've seen it and you heard anything wrong about what I said, please leave a comment below and tell me exactly what I said wrong, and I will leave a correction, okay? So I'm just trying to spread the right information, folks. By the way, this is the user that told me originally. He's a game developer. Now, some of this is actually wrong, and this is the correction for it right here. So if you guys want to check this out, you can check it out. I'm gonna link this all down below. This is the user right here that said this, and then this is the guy I talked to. He's a game developer as well. He's very knowledgeable. He knows a lot about what he's talking about. He was also a game developer at one point, and he's a yeah. So it's very interesting, right? Um, that's basically it. The last and final thing that I want to talk about is this guy right here, T3H. Here's just what I'm just gonna link this as well in the description, right? This is what a simulation 600 millisecond latency against bots looks like, right? So, as you can see, right, he's shooting at them, and it looks like there's a delay, right? But there is a delay, but it's still hitting them. Okay, so there's no, and this is how he simulated it, by the way. He used this software, right? And basically he can simulate what 600 milliseconds looks like. Now, as you noticed, there is desync, like there's lag, but there's not any hit registration issues. That's because hit registration is caused by engine side desync. It's not caused by ping. This is a proof for that if you wanted a visualization for that. All right, so thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, please, like and subscribe. If you don't like the video, leave a dislike, leave your criticism, honest criticism below. I'll be releasing many more videos about stuff that nobody's been talking about, because nobody has spoken about this yet. Nobody has spoken about this yet. It's a very interesting topic, and I'm just really excited that I'm getting to talk about this. So